In my long and winding romantic history, I had a window where I thought that I was aligned with polyamory, and I thought that it was the most libertarian romantic expression. So live and let live. I'm going to do whatever I want as long as I'm not harming anyone, as long as everybody's consenting. And I don't want to say no to whatever the universe puts in my path. And that window coincided with the period I was in many ways forestalling, not only my first divorce, but actually the inner work that I would begin in 2016. That inner work began when I chose a monogamous container with my last partner. And I chose that basically under duress. And the choosing of that monogamous container without any intentionality around this was the beginning of my deepest window of inner child work, shadow work, personal work that began in 2016. And essentially, I put some sort of bow on it like 6 months ago. And that would not have occurred if I was still able to source little hits of connection, self-concept, self-worth, self-validation, self-justification from other men. I learned firsthand what a very strictly monogamous, zippering up my sexual energy because of my partner's then sensitivities, where I would use my sexual energy, like with a colleague, to give him the impression that maybe one day, somehow, some way, he could have sex with me. And when I had no intention of that, I left that open. And my partner was rightly sensitive to that. And his sensitivity, I chose to work with, and I chose to learn how to shut that down. And it was devastating to my inner energetics because I no longer had that way of stabilizing myself, of making sure I secured sexual attention. It's very subtle, right? From all of the men in my life, so that I knew that they were attracted and interested, but I also was in control of not letting anything happen that I didn't want to happen, of course. That is a strategy. And that strategy stems from fear of men. That's what I've learned and what I have concluded. Whereas clear and clean boundaries, knowing that my sexual energy is mine to open and close at will, and it's not just a default strategic connection, has been game-changing for me. And it required that I go to the roots of this fear. And that took me many years. And we do this in all sorts of different ways. We sexually strategize with people who are our partners all the time. And men do it, they source from other women. So for me, I now see that polyamory for me was an avoidance strategy because I believe that the monogamous crucible is the most powerful technology there is for humanity at this time.